on the State Theatre Choir to lead us on our anthems, and therefore we open the proceedings of today. Is there no one following me up? Is there no one who can ululate better than I do? Let us leave it to the choir. Where is my choir? If there is no choir yet, while it is preparing itself, let us get the music that was playing behind us when we started to just pull the drums once more, and I know what has happened with my choir. Soft music, and we can dance a little bit. DJ, there was DJ here. DJ, there at the back. DJ, there was DJ here. DJ, let us warm ourselves, let us celebrate. The choir is here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let us clap hands for it. It was doing its best to make sure that it is well dressed to lead us to the proceedings of today. Let us rise in the spirit of how we sing our national and African Union anthems.
Let Dikuku tsa Batswana awe. Dikuku tsa Batswana awe.
Akwane Rakensa. Thank you to the choir. Thank you. Isn't it a beautiful choir? It is a beautiful choir. Isn't it a colorful choir? It is a colorful choir. Let me as well just say the day is the day for us to celebrate. The day is for us to dedicate ourselves, dedicating ourselves to rise together, dedicating ourselves to unite, dedicating ourselves. Dedicating ourselves to uphold all the bonds that frame our future. This is Africa, and Africa is our home. At this point in time, I also want to invite next to me the CEO of the State Theatre, hoping he has already joined us, for him to welcome us for the day of today. CEO of State Theatre, Dr. Mkhize. Dr. Mkhize, if Dr. Mkhize is around, if Dr. Mkhize is not around, Mr. Sikabi may be around. Dr. Mkhize is not around, okay. Let me, for the time being, do something until I realize if Dr. Mkhize is around or is not around. Let me just say that, yes, we shall unite and celebrate together. We are celebrating the victories that won our liberation. We are dedicating ourselves to rise together, rising again and together to defend our liberty and unity. We are the sons and daughters of Africa in flesh and blood. And as sons and daughters of Africa, we say, let us make Africa the tree of life, because Africa is our resource. Let us unite and hold the bonds that frame our destiny, the destiny that is taking us to lasting peace, the destiny that is taking us to peace, to justice on earth. Let us make sure that as sons and daughters of Africa, we are together than fighting against each other. And let me say again, I am checking if Dr. Mkhize is around us or not. If not around us, I think I will say, let me do this request my DG to come on stage, because the program is a joint program. He will be welcoming us shortly, greeting us, and from there sharing with us the purpose of today. In doing that, I also want to say, DG, you have done good work for us through the department. Going back to the theme of today, the theme of Africa Day, which is the Year of Arts, Culture and Heritage, building a better Africa and a better world in the year of Charlotte Maxeke. And I believe that this theme that is recognizing arts and culture and heritage as a resource that is building a better Africa, it is acknowledging the work that is done by the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture. And whilst I am finishing, I hope the technical team that is coming up with sanitizers, just to make sure the microphone is well and ready for the DG, the team is ready.
Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, the DDG, heads of departments, fellow colleagues, welcome to today. I'm standing here on behalf of my Chief Executive Officer, who is currently in a FinCom meeting. So you know when it's FinCom and it's money, they have to really make sure that all these things are covered. So he couldn't be here, also because we started a bit late. So forgive us for that and forgive him for that. Welcome to the South African State Theatre, the Theatre of Africa. We are quite excited to have you all here to celebrate this big day in our continent. And I must say that as the South African State Theatre, we've also made strides in terms of connecting with the continent. If you have seen during the month of April, we've made nice connections with our fellow colleagues in the continent from Benin, from Senegal. So we're really making those strides. And again, with our collaboration with STER Kineko, there will be a lot of exchanges from the African continent. So we know that Africa's time is now, and we know the challenges that face us as a continent. And you know, I think there was a time when we were saying it's time to silence the guns, it's time to stop corruption, and that's the call that Africa is really making, to say let's stop the wars, let's stop corruption, because we're such a rich country and the majority of our people are still living in poverty. And for us to be able to deal with that, we need to start dealing with each other and collaborating. I've always said that, you know, it's so easy. When we do works here, every time we put up a project, we hope that it goes to Europe. We hope that it goes to the US. Never in our minds do we say we want to do this project, we want to share with our fellow brothers in the continent. So we have to also change our mindset so that the more we can share the work, the more we can understand each other, the more we can know each other. And I think once we do that, also these things like xenophobia and all that, we can start to really deal with those issues because we know each other so well and we understand each other so well. So this is an important day for the continent, and we need to celebrate it. And we need to celebrate our diversity as an African people living in the African continent. Ladies and gentlemen, mine was not to make a speech, but to welcome you all and hope that you're going to enjoy this afternoon. We've got for you lined up.
To make sure that we are a peaceful continent and we build friends and friendship from Cape to Cairo. Yes, Africa Month program is a program that is approved by Cabinet, and it is an annual event and a program that further enjoys the support of the African Union. And it is a program that is not just acknowledged and recognized in Africa, even beyond Africa. There is a sign that this day of Africa Day and gradually the Africa Month equally is going to be recognized in other countries. These are the days we use to celebrate our stalwarts. Yes, previously we have celebrated many, to mention our father, Nelson Mandela, and our grandfather, to mention O.R. Tambo. And today, when we are looking at the theme of the program, we are celebrating our mothers that led us in the struggles of Africa, and in particular, using the theme of today and the theme that we are converged under in this program. The mentioned name is the name of Mama Charlotte Maxeke. We all know the story of Mama Charlotte Maxeke, a young girl in those days that was brave enough to lead what broke the chains of apartheid at that time in the best way, in the representation of the struggles that have been led by women that she did in coordinating other women. And of course, the objectives of the Africa Month program are to promote the Africa agenda, making sure that we are strengthening our institutions in Africa, institutions that lead us on policies, is to ensure that we implement and bring life to the AU agenda as set out in terms of its objectives, looking at 2063. And of course, we are mindful that there is the Charter of the African Culture of Renaissance that I believe today is being launched by those who are looking at what is happening on the websites and internet. There is some celebration that I saw where it was explained it is the celebration of the launch of this charter. And the objectives of the Africa Month program continue to include the stimulation of the appetite for consumption of South Africa and Southern Africa. I think that is the best expression, and South Africa cultural goods and services, because South Africa, it trades with Africa, and for some time, South Africa was also identified as a gateway for trade into Africa. I think for this point in time, let me stop there and say my DG is not here or is here? Yes. Tumamina. Is there someone who can lead us? Where's my choir? There is a choir here that is intimidating me. I'll come back, DG. Now you just stepped here close to me quite soon.
Program Director, Deputy Director General Chikwatamba, members of the executive management of the department, as well as management of the State Theatre, as well as the colleagues from the State Theatre, department officials here present, and members of the media, if there is any that we had invited, I hope they are. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to greet you of being an African. Asante, as we would say in our own African lingo, which is one of the languages that have been adopted by AU for us to be able to communicate as Africans with each other, irrespective of the borders that we have. And I think we will share those moments with one another where Africa doesn't have to use a foreign language to communicate with itself. So, ngiyanibingelela, ngiyajabula ukuba nani, ngithi dumelang. Ngazi ke uDDG uzama ukukhuluma ngesi-Afrikaans kodwa ngambona nje ukuthi usenkingeni. Sizomnceda ke ukuthi sikhulume nange-Afrikaans. Kodwa ngiyabonga kakhulu kwi-State Theatre ukuthi basinikeze le platform enhle kangaka ukuthi sibe nosuku lokukhumbula ukuthi what it means to be African. So we are here today because our forefathers, in particular, those who were facing the heaviest of the burdens of colonialism, oppression, had decided to get together soon after Ghana had obtained its freedom. And they decided that every state in Africa must be liberated through a united effort by all African states. And as a result, the Organization of African Unity was born, not because they were doing each other a favor, but it was about the realization of the bond, which is a blood bond that Africans have with one another. And the father of African unity, former president and founding president of a free Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah, once then said, I quote, "We are not Africans because we were born in Africa, but because Africa is born in us." So it is not because we have any other choice to call ourselves Africans. So as a father of African unity, he had to make sure that until 1994, the struggle for liberating each and every corner of Africa happens. And we achieved that out of the unity of Africans, working together. When the apartheid regime came, as we all know what happened, in 1948, when the Nationalist Party took over, one of their key objectives that united white Africans at the time was to oppress an African in South Africa and blacks in general in South Africa. And to achieve that, as we know that our leaders were banned and some of them incarcerated in Robben Island, but our internationalist, O.R. Tambo, our father of foreign diplomacy, moved from country to country, continent to continent, to mobilize support for the freedom of South Africa up to the level of United Nations. So this unity of Africans, even when Southwest Africa received their liberation after a painful and victorious venture by led by the Cuban commanders of the Quito Carnival. And then the Afrikaners decided that this is too much a pain inflicted for them to be defeated by an army of Africans. It forced them to realize the need to come to the negotiation table. But that was not least of what they had done, including the issue of attacking and conducting massacres in the African states, particularly the frontier states that were bordering South Africa, to stop any effort by the liberation movements, whether it was African National Congress, whether it was Pan-Africanist Congress or ZAPO. The efforts were to try and make sure that South Africa remains under the enclave of a very, very dangerous and racist regime. So African states suffered a lot together with us. That's why today we've got Matola Monument, and we understand how Mozambique suffered, when to date we still don't know what happened to down that aeroplane in Mpumalanga of our father of democracy in Mozambique. And when that happened, it was clear that the regime was prepared to destroy and break the bonds between Africans, conducting massacres in Botswana, massacres in Lesotho. So Africans have suffered as a collective, not as individual states, during the apartheid regime, which became more and more vicious. But because of the bond that was built of unity, the vision of a free Africa that our fathers of democracy and unity built, it was clear that this apartheid regime would be defeated at some point because of the support we got as South Africans from our own neighboring states and the whole of continent. I don't know how many of you have read the book written by, where it says Thomas Sankara Speaks. Now, this was a very young man who eventually became a president of Burkina Faso. But even when he went to address the United Nations, he repeatedly mentioned the issue of liberating black South Africans. Why was he interested in that? It was because we were suffering from the collective pain. Didn't say I'm in Burkina Faso, I am Thomas Sankara, I am young president in his early 30s. But he was so understanding of the collective pain Africans are suffering. Because when we were sold as slaves, those who have heard, particularly the slave route in Senegal, you will understand that Africans cannot then, after a total liberation of the whole continent, in which we were the last to get it, we must now be divided instead of building an Africa free of disease, an Africa that celebrates its culture and its heritage, an Africa that is prosperous, by allowing divisions of whether you look too dark than me or you are a yellow bone and therefore then you are more, because of your hue and your color, you are then more privileged. That is what Americans did to divide the very black Americans. They would create what we call a house slave who becomes an instrument to exploit those who were doing cotton work in the cotton fields, to divide us so that we don't prosper. So we have this African vision now, 2063. It calls upon all of us to come and work together to develop the Africa we want. Now, what is this Africa we want? Clearly, it is an Africa that is prosperous, that is trading among itself, because herself has got so much riches that Africa does not need to depend on European help and handouts. We are a youthful African continent that has opportunities that are limitless. A revolution that we have. So when we talk of fourth industrial revolution, it is us as Africans who have this opportunity. But to do that, we must have our young people educated about what it means to be African. We must play our part. So, ladies and gentlemen, as my colleague, my DDG had indicated, that today is Africa Day under that theme, the year of arts, culture and heritage, in the year of Charlotte Manya Maxeke. So today we are here then because also we coincide with this celebration, because our cabinet confirmed that this year would be a year of Mama Charlotte Manya Maxeke. Now, she would be turning 150 years old this year had she lived that long. But what is important about her lessons is her selflessness and contribution to the upliftment of her people. When she was in America, she could have assumed the citizenship of America. When she was in America, she could have turned her back on Africa. And you can imagine at that time it was not even apartheid, it was colonialism at its worst. And women were suffering double jeopardy because it's the customs by the very same communities in which they lived oppressed women. Then it was the colonialism oppressing women. So women were suffering a double jeopardy. But she broke the barriers, becoming the first graduate, which should inspire every young girl, even in the most remote areas, that with my potential and my bravery, nothing can stop me in reaching my full potential. So Mama Maxeke has Charlotte Manyamaxeke's lessons are deep-seated in what our government is doing to ensure that women in this country participate in all spheres of life and in all aspects of life, that they are given opportunities they deserve, not as a gift, but it's because if you have an educated and a fully participative women folk in this country, you are able to liberate the whole nation. Women are in majority. They are the ones who look after us. So Charlotte Maxeke did not lose being a woman in order to take leadership. She was the first among women to challenge the status quo of chauvinistic tendencies, of patriarchy. So we must be able to say to our young girls, you don't need a man to be prosperous who is going to go out there, commit what we call gender-based violence and femicide. Because Mema Maxeke did not allow that. She challenged the status quo. So when we then say that the Africa Month is inspired by her life, and also comes when the heads of states in the African Union governments declared this year as a year of arts, culture, and heritage, as levers, in other words, as enablers for building the Africa we want. So when we listen to the choir and we look at, we're looking forward to Babumbuso Koza's renditions here, it must be because through heritage and culture, we discover our identity as Africans. Former President Mbeki spoke, and everybody was excited when he made that great speech, I am African. And then he makes references not only to humans, he makes references to the landscape of Africa, on what it means to us, to the fauna and the flora of Africa, and what it makes us and how it relates to us. So it is important that we celebrate this Africa Day and recommit ourselves in understanding that despite challenges of COVID-19 that everyone is grappling with as Africa, there are wars that continue, as Mr. Seklabi said here, that we spoke about silencing the guns. Africa can't prosper in the midst of conflict. So we have a responsibility through our creatives, through arts, through heritage, to project that Africa must be peaceful for it to prosper. Our children must embrace their Africanness. They must not aspire to be somebody else by consuming foreign culture. We have a duty as a department to begin to teach our Africans they are adequate, our children, of being Africans. A lot of achievements Africa has made, big strides against all odds and the constraining chains of colonialism, and in South Africa, colonialism of a special kind called apartheid. We've made great strides, so we must not feel less when we are among other nations as Africans, but we must inspire and plant that seed to our young people. So it is within this context that the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture would, among other its programs, and in contributing to the AU theme of the year 2021, will be implementing some of the Pan-African event programs, such as the 60th anniversary of Baba Albert, Chief Albert Luthuli, who was the first African to receive a Nobel Peace Prize. Intensify the campaign for the ratification of the Charter for Africa's Cultural Renaissance in our own region, SADC region. We're going to continue to mobilize support for the recognition of the 23rd of March as the day to reflect on the Battle of Quito Carnavale. This battle we might not understand, but you know, when Fidel, the commandant Fidel Castro, after watching how the commanders of Cuba marshalling the forces or African forces fighting against this regime called apartheid regime, when he said that which was supposed to be on the ground was flying in the air, and that which was supposed to be in the air was on the ground, because of the power of the arsenal that was used to defeat this apartheid regime. That is why Cubans are so close to our hearts as Africans. So when people fight, why are you bringing Cubans doctors here? Why are you bringing Cuban engineering and the specialists here? It's because they lack the understanding of what Cubans contributed to our liberation. They chose to die in a foreign soil for our own liberation. So we must not be afraid of that. That's why former president, our founding father of democracy, Mandela, when he went to America, they tried to pressurize him to choose his friends. And he asked them, where were you when Queen Okanavala happened? He said, when the Palestinians are suffering, why should I choose new friends? He was very clear when he said Libya was there. He told, for the first time, those Americans, they thought they were powerful. But he told them, as in the West, don't tell me who to choose as my friend. Because he understood what brought us together as Africans, and in particular, the partnerships we had with these countries. So that is why we believe that those who were our friends in the darkest days must continue to be our friends, even during our own brightest moments, as we now celebrate and enjoy the fruits of our democracy. So another thing, we'll have those memorial lectures, as well as about Mama Matlagi, have a commemorative gold coin for the founding mothers and fathers of African liberation. We'll also look at the resources that would be made available to support entities and public sector beneficiaries so that they can also celebrate this important month. So Africa Month then promotes Pan-Africanism and African cultural renaissance. These both contribute to the united efforts for delocalization and regeneration of the African continent. And I think all of us sitting here, we must accept that one of the dangerous things apartheid did was that it tried to take away our culture and our identity. And in doing so, it made us have a hate for one another. If you are speaking Sesotho, I'd say, why are you speaking Sesotho to me? If I'm speaking Chivenda, I feel angry. But when you speak English, then I feel comfortable. Our brains and our minds have been destroyed, and we have a responsibility to decolonize the mind. We can't just decolonize the whole issue about what we regard as decolonizing the curriculum. A lot, our architecture, our designs must be decolonized so that we have that African reflection through and through. So I think we must begin to work towards decolonization of the mind so that we begin to love one another. This thing of today, there are African leaders we hate more than we hate the Botha, the Verwoerds. What type of thinking is that? We hate each other's success and progress. As Africans, we pull each other down. So the apartheid masters then still celebrate. We can't afford that. But why? It's because of the state of mind. Today we have been told that the worst thing we have in the country, which of course is a wrong thing, is corruption. But nobody told us we must get our land back. You can't just talk about, forget about your main problem, you Africans, is corruption when they keep the land. We must say corruption is wrong. We must fight it. But what is our biggest thing is dispossession. And that must not take secondary area. But the masters are sitting somewhere there, pulling the strings, telling us, no, your problem is not about land dispossession. It's not about economic freedom. Your problem is corruption. If corruption was dealt with, you will have bigger houses. That's not true. The fact is, fight corruption is not acceptable. We did not struggle to be corrupt. But at the same time, let's not forget the bigger battle. We need to have full rights and participation in our own economy. We need to have our land back. So when government changes the constitution and consult, you as civil servants sitting here must be able to propagate and communicate those things. Because Africans, and this big day, our forefathers, all that they wanted was to make sure that we are truly liberated. Political freedom, economic freedom. So we must deal with these things and make sure that the vision of our African forefathers is realized. So the Africa Month then, we will use it as a platform of an integrated and prosperous, peaceful Africa driven by its own citizens. And to do that, we must educate our young people. They can't be sitting there with this rate of unemployment. We must find ways to make them participate in the health, economic health, as well as social health of our continent and its development. But finally, let me just say, what type of a civil servant does Africa needs? Mama Charlotte Maxeke used her education. She came back to her country and made sure that she uplifts her community. What type of a civil servant Africa needs? It's a civil servant who understands the pain of our people when they are sitting in long queues and say, how can I help you? A civil servant who has empathy and not look at the mamas sleeping on the floors in hospitals. Civil servant who says, how can I help you without you paying me a bribe? That's the civil servant Africa needs, who connects with her people. Are we that type of a civil servant? Because we must change the narrative. We know when you go to the airports, people ask you for an extra page. You don't understand. What is this extra page? We even have countries that are in Africa that we regard as, where is corrupt? I don't want to even go there. And it's not because people there are corrupt. Civil servants who are corrupt project the nation as corrupt. What kind of civil servant does Africa needs? Is that servant who says your pain is my pain? I will go an extra mile to support you because you are my mother. Umuntu, umuntu, ngabantu. Mutu, imutu, ngabantu. Are we that type of a civil servant? Otherwise, we will not achieve the vision of Africa we want 2063. Let's enjoy and celebrate our Africa Day, and let's make sure that when we live here, we spread the gospel with the diaspora, and we must improve this so that in future we are not only alone. We have other colleagues who live in this country. Work with the embassies. Let them be part of this type of a day, because the South African government said it must be Africa Month. But when it's Africa Day, we invite our own fellow South Africans who are coming from other countries to be part of us here. So you don't only listen to me, but you also listen. If I'm stepping down, there is someone from Nigeria, someone from Ghana, as someone from Burkina Faso, we must be able to bring and create that sense of African unity and make it live. I would like to thank you for listening to me. I wish you the best of celebrations. Thanks.
Triumph over poverty. I wanna be there when the people win the battle against AIDS. I wanna lend a hand. I wanna be there for the alcoholic. I wanna be there for the drug addict. I wanna be there for the victims of violence and abuse.
Wow, wow. Let's clap hands again for DG. That is a message inspiring Pan-Africanism in us, a message given to us on the Africa Day, in the Africa Month. Wow, DG, you inspired me to continue where I stopped because it came through in your message to say even these other objectives I did not mention are equally important. These are objectives that say we are committing ourselves. We are committing ourselves to promote regional integration by strengthening contact with others in Africa, by making sure we understand the policies of Africa, the policies of trade, the policies of humanitarianism, and more, the policies that build the social fiber of Africa. We are committed to promote the cultural diplomacy. When DG says, let us invite others, this is not just a program for us, South Africa. This is a program for Africa. So those that are our brothers and sisters in the continent with us in South Africa, indeed, they should be celebrating with us. We are committing to implement the existing cultural arrangements that strengthen and also build relations with identified countries in the continent. And because we cannot turn away the clock, it is true that the rest of the continent knows the world better than us, South Africa, because of the history we have had as South Africans, the history of being closed in the borders of South Africa whilst others were going globally. Therefore, we can benefit by strengthening those social contacts. And of course, DG mentioned that one of the things that we have to be sure of is to build on the skills and expertise, making sure that these we exchange and they become mutual beneficial and building sustainable objectives in the line of us living together in prosperity as Africa. Wow, when I am saying this, I am also saying we are going to be inspired by a cultural item by Mbuso Khoza. Mbuso Khoza seemed to be ready. I leave it to you. Inspire us in the best of what represents the day.
Oyeye, Tiwe mayoyo, Sitiyelela mayoyo, Sakana, Sakshiye zangagini, Zeda, Sakshiye we mayoyo, Yengabe ziyawushaya nini kanti ngakithi. Mayoyo, we mayoyo, we mayoyo, we mayoyo, we mayoyo, we mayoyo. Hey, 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 we mayoyo, hey, hey, we mayoyo, hey, si we mayoyo. Oh yeah, yeah. City where my yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. City where my yeah. Second as a cheer my yeah. So keep him counting down this a mola. Yellow my yeah. Shining at my On trumpet we have Insizwa yakwaZulu uNdaba Zulu. Yabezetha wena wesilo. Mayo. Mayo yo yeah. Mayo. Sorry. Our technicians, we are having a problem on stage. This microphone is batteryless. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Angifuni manifike emakhaya ukuthi le ntshebe ibicula ithina sizwe kanti akuvumi phambili. We should take this set of circumstances and thank State Theatre for being a home to most of us as musicians. We've done quite a number of shows here commemorating Africanness, and the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture for making this amazing day, felt. As you can see, people are viewing from all over the world. Thank you so much for remembering Africa. Gwande. We're going to honor Uchabu Kanyile. Kozati tumiko sajan meya pa koko kaire Kozati tumiko sajan meya pa koko kaire Kozati Eya patumiko sasha nyola tiki Chululunga lula tise mandola Mende chane puluka Ufa arabaga faro matavira sintaro Chululunga la tisingale Africa Kozati Meya patumiko sajani Chululu no lati singole Ufa arabaga faro matavira sindaro Tundu tarasikie Sajan parsa witumbe Chululunga lula tisemandala Mede chane puluka Siela le maribera baba Shelele matuka Bom titi shelele matunga Shelele matunga Shelele matuka nena kisikindol Chululu no lati sikingale notingo Shelele matu Kelatu Get up, parira tumkom, parira radi tore kere kinda kipom. Get up, parira linda, paridom, parikira kikomko. Get up, parira tumkom, parira radi tore kere kinda kipom. Get up, parira rida, paridom, parikira kikom. All the way from Eastern Cape, Gabriel Stirman on keys. Parira tumbo, parira radi tore kere kinda kipom. Siyabonga kakhulu. That was Richard Bona, all the way from Cameroon. The next one, we are honoring Ubaba Ujabu Khanyile the late. Spunky punky love, the lover that you get. My yo, ooh, city love, spunky punky love, the lover that you get. Take figure calling upon this man. Abafana basakwazi ukushela intombi. Sabedla ngamabala okwengwe idla ngamabala ulafe ngamtshaniya baphela ubuntu bethu mayo usithi la spunky the lover that you get mayo usithi la azina ukushikela lokhu ukuqhenya ukuqhosha iziqhenya ngobuntombi bayo abantu bakithi sebezinyeza ngezilimi zabo mayo usithi lami spunky punky lava volava reche on sex, all the way from Umlaza, Umlazi, Linda Skakana. We hope this one gives us hope. Oh, it's better. Thank you so much. Can I have more of myself on my monitors, please? Basic like that, just take it up. That's it. Are we winning? so that we give the viewers and the audience the best. More, please. Yes. Oh, it's better now. Thank you so much. One day.
Ngashiwa ngumama ngise ingane yizinkinga zalo mhlaba ngalahlwa ngubaba ngingakazalwa ngangizange ngimbone ngakhulele esandleni zezihlobo sami umalume wami engubaba nomama konke kunesikhathi sakho sonke sidibana nezinkinga zifika zedlule bekesela ungaphela ngashiwa ngumama ngise ingane izinkinga zalo mhlaba ngalahlwa ngubaba ngingakazalwa izinkinga zalo mhlaba ngalahlwa ngubaba ngingakazalwa ngangizange ngimbone ngihlala ngiyibuza mihla namalanga ukuthi wemhlaba ngabe ungiphatheleni na ngoba bonke bakwethu balele kuwe ubaba wamulele kuwe namhlaba umfowethu naye ulele kuwe namhlaba awungitshele ungiphatheleni na konke unesikhathi sakho sonke sidibana nezinkinga zonke zifika zedlule bekesela ungaphela Rastafari izinkinga zalo mhlaba Haile Selassie 25 of December of May in Addis Ababa oh yeah izinkinga zalo mhlaba oh yeah izinkinga zalo mhlaba Jack Crucial Rastafari izinkinga zalo mhlaba wow yeah kangisana ngizibone chiliki king gaga izinkinga zalo mhlaba izinkinga zalo mhlaba ngangizange ngimbone ngakhulele ezandleni zezihlobo sami umalume wami engubaba nomama konke kunesikhathi sakho zifika zedlule bekesela ungapheli amanga where did it go sweet Lord coming far to carry me home sweet oh
to carry you. Koma mfazi ngafaze inhlamba kanyoka kusho inxele lamquzula madoda. Insizwa lena madoda. Kwanongoma. Ubani uqoma mfazi. Umazi umfazi omnyama onafana. Awusuka madoda. Wewe mapungu na shala kanjani ma. Wewe mapungu na shala kanjani. Wewe mapungu na shala kanjani. Awe mapungu na shala kanjani. Awe mapungu na shala. Awe mapungu na shala kanjani. Awe mapungu na shala kanjani. Awe mapungu na shala kanjani. Kuyayeni we mapungu na shala kanjani. Awe mapungu na shala kanjani. Kuyayeni we mapungu na shala kanjani. Wakula kula ngani umuntu wathi masukule luqome ngakithi. Wakula kula ngani umuntu wathi masukule luqome insizwe. Awe mapungu na shala kanjani. Awe mapungu na shala. Awe mapungu na shala. Awe mapungu na shala kanjani. Awe mapungu na shala kanjani. Awe mapungu na shala kanjani. Kuyayeni we mapungu na shala kanjani. Awe mapungu na shala. We mapungu na shala kanjani ma. We mapungu na shala kanjani. Awe mapungu na shala kanjani. Awe mapungu na shala kanjani. We mapungu na shala kanjani. Wakula kula ngani umuntu wathi masukule luqome insizwe. Wakula kula ngani umuntu wathi masukule luqome insizwe. Awe mapungu na shala. Awe mapungu na shala. We mapungu na shala. Awe mapungu na shala. Mapungu na shala. Mama pungu na mangi pungu na mapungu. We mapungu na shala. Wema Afrika ngiyayithola impendulo. Ngokuxhasana ninodwa nge-tribalism. Wema bhungu nishela kanjani? Yeah, mabhungu nishela kanjani? Siyabonga. Again, I wish to take this moment and ngibonge Uluthando Academy for giving us their dancers, State Theatre, the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. Thank you so much. There are so many people out there who are looking for opportunities. We appreciate each and every opportunity that we get as artists, and we thank you. Amangwane.
Relevant.
We are about to do a duet with our MC here. Athi udlungana kanjaba, udlungana umbalabele, odlunga emanqulumeni. Okade wasemanquma sibikela na, uta kulobafazi ngomgabhethe kulabahle semlofini. Bathi ushaka kubusa, kanti kunyanana ezonethezeka. Ngicela ukweba isilo sasemngundlovu. Umntombi lokho zilahle bozofuna umdlovu ushangane. Bathi unkone sathi inkona sakho uhlanga ugombe shomnyama nje amazokuhlalela. Bathi usiba simanzozo sizozobele. Bathi unzima lomnyama. Kanti abangabende bezikona ngonyama isilo sasondini. Kwankomo sidlamangwane sandlwana. Siyeza singuzulu omnyama. Kwankomo sidlamangwane sandlwana. Kwankomo ezasale sandlwana. Kwankomo sidlamangwane sandlwana. Etse Kwankomo sidlamangwane sandlwana. Siyeza singuzulu omnyama. Kwankomo sidlamangwane sandlwana. Kwankomo sidlamangwane sandlwana. Siyeza singuzulu omnyama. Kwankomo sidlamangwane sandlwana. Kwankomo ezasale sandlwana. Siyeza singuzulu omnyama. Kwankomo ezasale sandlwana. Ekuseni siyeza siwukhwinje. Kwankomo ezasale sandlwana. Ekuseni, ekuseni, ekuseni. Kwankomo sidlamangwane sandlwana. Ekuseni, 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 ekuseni. Siyeza siwukhwinje. Kwankomo sidlamangwane sandlwana. Ekuseni, 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 ekuseni. Siyeza singuzulu omnyama. Kwankomo sidlamangwane sandlwana. Ekuseni, 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 ekuseni. Au, 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 au. Siyeza, siyeza, siyeza. Ekuseni, 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 ekuseni. Siyabonga nomemeza sengashaqalela imithimbulo kanti bathithekile. Lakhithwa ingqondo endala kithi kamalandela. Bathi besibindi ukuthezwa ukukhuthazela kanjani. Oh ya ya hele. Kankomo sikamanga nesandwana. Exe. Siyabonga kakhulu. Exe.
Wow, the battery is down. Or lift me up at the back. Wow, yeah, that's better. Wow. Now you understand why ngithe ay sizombeka ecaleni kancane ngoba busokhoza and we start with the DJ because I think now the anointment of the speech Ska DJ could have gone by now if he had listened to this before his speech. This was good, indeed, it was good. And it tells why we decided that as government and the department in particular, that we are going to have an Africa Month so that we continue having these celebrations and we continue hearing this ear, this food for the ear. And we continue feeding our ears like this and feeding our eyes like this. On that note, I think I can just continue where Digi touched on a little bit to say, yes, we are going to have activities that are taking place during the Africa Month, which is May, and they may take us a little beyond May. And these are activities that are meant to celebrate the Africa Month. And yes, we have the 60th anniversary of Chief Albert Luthuli, the first African to win the Nobel Peace Prize. We will also be intensifying the campaign for the ratification of the Charter for Africa Cultural Renaissance in the SADC region. Yes, we also mobilize support for the recognition of the 23rd March as the day to reflect on the Battle of Kota Carnival. And we are also launching the commemorative gold coin in honor of the founding mothers and fathers of our liberation struggle. We are embracing, in the spirit of From Cape to Cairo, the heritage from Robben Island to the Pyramid of Giza. We are also recognizing and celebrating Buhlokwa Charlotte Manyi, our mother and our grandmother, in the spirit of what we have already explained about her. Yes, we celebrate Africa Cinema, admiring the performance and the performing art that we have just now seen amongst others. We are recognizing and celebrating the Legends of Africa through a Legends of Africa campaign. We are also having Africa Youth Ambassadors that are also supporting this program. We will also be having intercultural and economic dialogue that is taking place. And we also have Culture Connect, Beitbridge. We also have the Pan-Africa Cultural Day, as well as the Continental Design Initiative, where we will be seeing the art of Africa. We also have indigenous language, comedy, and storytelling. We also have the launch of the commemorative gold coin, honoring the founding mothers and fathers of our liberation. I think that one was worth to be repeated because of how important it is for us, those that walked ahead of us, leading the way for us to live a future of Africa that is full of opportunities for prosperity and livelihood and quality of life of our future generations. With those words, I am also inviting my colleague DDG Kumalo to come and thank you for being a wonderful audience, and also thank our partners and everyone. And I am sure you also want, as she is coming up on stage, to clap hands for yourselves. Let us just clapping hands for ourselves, but showering her as well with the rain of hands coming to the podium.
Program Director, DG, who has had to leave, distinguished guests. Good afternoon, Sanbonan, Tambam. Okay, back on again. I'm standing between you and lunch, so I'm going to be very brief. Mine is to express our appreciation for the opportunity we have had as a department and our partners to celebrate this day that reminds us what it means to be African. From the very fitting and eloquent program director, allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce to you, those of you that were not aware, our new DDG for Corporate Services, who just program directed for us this event. Fresh from the box, as I indicate, she's got about 7 days with the department. A round of applause for her, please. So welcome to the department, DDG Mandisa Tikwatamba. We really want to express our appreciation to the amazing, colorful choir that led us from the African Union at the beginning of this program to the awesome mix of the entertainment, which is reflective of what as Africa and South Africa we are about. We also want to thank Ukabazela, CEO of State Theatre, for hosting us, you and your staff. Thank you very much. We want to thank our Director General, Babu Mkize Forum Khabulo. That's what we say in some of the quarters. Indeed, he gave us such a rich and very informative lecture, which made us reflect even more of where we come from and who we are. We want to say to him, ngiyathemba bazo-ululator abakwazi uku-ululator gcwabe khabazela kamavovo kuphela wena wasembo. Thank you very much for leading us and sharing with us and reflecting, allowing us to reflect as well today. Indeed, Africa is us. Let us continue to embrace the richness of this continent. All 1.3 billion of us in the 54 countries, including the small islands that make up this continent, our motherland. Ubaba Umbuso Khoza, one of the award-winning, as we all know, vocalists and songwriters that have produced this rich, authentic sound that we just heard today. Indeed, Mloto Amkatini, if you can hear me, this was mind-blowing performance. And it made us reminisce about our legends in the world of the creatives. Rufus and your team, thank you very much for putting this awesome celebration together. Good was up for you, to you, well done. And thank you very much to all our distinguished guests. Ndabezita has just left as well, who is one of the department's social cohesion advocates. To all the executives, management, staff of the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, staff of State Theatre, all of you who could make it today, members of the media, and everyone who could grace this celebration. Happy Africa Day to you. Let us celebrate our inheritance, our uniqueness, and blend all that we have so that we can actually bring about that change the status quo throughout the African diaspora. Thank you very much, and good afternoon.
Thank you very much, DDG. Yeah. I'll make it short. Okay. Thank you very much, DDG. Now, accompanying us to lunch or refreshments will be Zoe Midera. And that one, we have to stand up at some stage, and because I know what's gonna come, you know, it's gonna say, let's move, let's move, let's move. The stage is yours. So, ready, 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 ready. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come, come, come. Let's play it loud. Let's dance a bit. Let's play it loud. Let's dance a bit.
I wanna be there when the people start to turn it around, when they triumph over poverty.
These
I wanna be there when the
These chairs can
people
go.
win the battle
These chairs can go.
against AIDS. I wanna lend a hand. I wanna be there for the alcoholic. I wanna be there for the drug addict. I wanna be there for the victims of violence.
Ebadala ngemicabango yakhe. Waneleke emoyeni ebafanisa naye, wabanika ithemba lakudala. Uma singazizifiso ezabaphambili, amaphupho akudala sizowafeza kanjani na? Sidinga masicelile, ayasidinga masicelile, likhona ithemba ukuthi amaphupho abo azofezeka. Njengoba kusho umdali, wadala umdali, wadala abantu, ebadala ngemicabango yakhe, waneleke emoyeni ebafanisa naye, wabanika ithemba lakudala. Uma singazizifiso ezabaphambili, Sanibonani. Ninjani namhlanje? It's so beautiful to be here with you distinguished, esteemed guests. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Zoe Mudicha and I'm here with these fantastic gentlemen. We're going to be singing music from Inganekwane, which is our sophomore album, to celebrate this beautiful occasion and to celebrate the African Day. The next song is called Abantu. It is a love letter to black bodies everywhere. Yes. Iyadabukisa ayisifanele njengabantu abamnyama noma sikulesimo thina akusho ukuthi kumele siphile kanjena jika izinto ukungazethembi kuyadabukisa akusifanele njengabantu abamnyama noma siuthanda lo mkhuba thina akusho ukuthi kumele siphile kanjena ukubulalana kuyadabukisa akusifanele njengabantu abamnyama noma sinawo lo mkhuba thina akusho ukuthi kumele siphile kanjena jika izinto I see you are a black person in South Africa, whether you're a black person in the continent of Africa that we are celebrating today, or whether you are part of the African diaspora, you are so important and you're so valid. And even though we carry so many traumas in our bodies, we are still affirmed in that we are here to shake things up. And we give the world so much beauty. We give it so much flavor. We give it so much color. We give it so much soul. Sobona. Sichigi zinto. ngithi nansi ngane kwa manje awutshele ukuthi uthando lungaka lo phuma phina phuma phina yaqala ingane kwane yethu awu besiyaphela ngokushona kwelanga angazi nga oh dale ngakuthanda kanjena ingane kwane oh nansi kodwa uzozisa ola uma ungaqoli oh yeah uzozisa uzosola wena angobungenzi isitwetwe sakho angobungenzi isitwetwe sakho angobungenzi ungengengeza angithi ungenza ungengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengengngengengengengengengengengngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngngng Ngeke wahlangana nje nomuntu ozovela kwenze isidwedwe sakhe. Uke wahlangana na? Ngiyanibuza phela. Senenza ngathi anazi. Nike nahlangana nomuntu ozovela kunenze isidwedwe. Niyazi leyo nto leyo? Kodwa ngiyakuthembisa ukuthi uyazisola. Ungathanga ngitshela. Ihaba leli Siyabonga. This next song is called Isegazi. It's dedicated to all of us to remind us that everything that we need is inside of us. Ngicelani ngizwe kahle, ngifuna ukushintsha umhlaba. Ngicelani ngizwe kahle, ngifuna ukushintsha umhlaba mina. Nginenceba mina, nceba mina. Nginenceba mina, nceba mina. Nginenceba mina, nceba mina. Nginenceba mina, nceba mina. Eh, lento isegazini, isegazini. Oh, lento isegazini, isegazini. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ngicelani ngizwe kahle, ngifuna ukushintsha umhlaba mina. Ngicelani ngizwe kahle, ngifuna ukushintsha umhlaba lo. Oh. Nginenceba mina, nceba mina. Nginenceba mina, nceba mina. Nginenceba mina, nceba mina. Nginenceba mina, nceba mina. Oh, lento isegazini, isegazini. Lento isegazini, isegazini. Oh, lento isegazini, isegazini lento. Lento isegazini, And I hope that you all believe that sincerely. That everything that you need is inside of you. And us as Africans, us as a black people, have always been taught to thrive for something else. But the truth is that we are that something else. And that everything that we've ever needed, we've walked with in this path, and so have those that have come before us. The next song that we're going to do is called Ija, a song dedicated to the youth of 1976 that gave birth to us as the Born Frees. And it's a song that talks about being young and being a cause of change in the world. Anytime that we've ever seen changes in the world, it's because the youth came and stepped in and stepped forward. And so we say thank you to the youth of then, and we come and we encourage the youth of now. Ngoba intsha inenkani. Sinengani thina, sinengani, sinengani thina, sinengani. Thank you so much to the Lyric Theatre, to the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, and all you beautiful, esteemed guests that are with us for the Africa Day celebration. It's been so beautiful to be with you. And even as we walk, let us have a pride, a pizzazz in our step. The song that we're going to be doing now is called Ilanga Lishonile. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ilanga lishonile, whoa, bafana mazibu izinkomo zobaba. Ilanga lishonile, bafana mazibu izinkomo zobaba. Ilanga lishonile, bafana mazibu izinkomo zobaba. Ilanga lishonile, bafana mazibu izinkomo zobaba. Whoa. Sengi batengi bega ngasemadlelwe, angiboni lutho. Sengi batengi bega ngasemadlelwe, angiboni lutho. Wosiolobo langani na masiyeki inkomo zobaba semuka nomoya. Wosiolobo langani na masiyeki inkomo zobaba semuka nomoya. Bafana zipina izinkomo zobaba. Bafana zipina izinkomo zobaba. Womafana thathani izingubo, womafana thathani izingubo, womafana thathani izingubo, nizibeke laphaya esigangeni. Womafana thathani izingubo, womafana thathani izinduku, womafana thathani izinduku, nizibeke so much for being here with us today. Please give it up for Ustebengu on trumpet. Please give it up for Kurt Petrus on keys. Please give it up for Ire Polaji, otherwise known as Irie on the beat, on drums. Please give it up for Panda Panda on bass. And last but not least, please give it up for Tate Munduru on sound. Thank you again to the State Theatre, to the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. Thank you so much for having us to be a part of your event in celebrating Africa Day. The music that we did comes from our sophomore album, Inganegwane. And we're gonna wrap it up with a song that I think is so beautiful because it talks about the power of song and the power of healing in song. You're welcome to stay seated, to nod your head. You're also welcome to do that. This is Lengo Siyabonga.
Joe was Tata was back luncheon. Thank you very much. You have been a very good audience, and I hope you have enjoyed the day. We continue even outside State Theatre, celebrating Africa Day in the Africa Month. Goodbye from me. I salute everyone who has been on the stage. Bye.